Welcome to your magic moon message. This is the peace dealer, moon in Aries, sun in Gemini, harvesting the authenticity of truth. You're coming from a very raw and potentially vulgar place, all right, when it comes to your expression of truth. And this may shock some of you who maybe like to polish a lot of what you say before you say it. Maybe you may not be the most comfortable with how passionate, authentic, but really raw, how raw you're going to be feeling. The moon transiting Chiron in the North Node will open up sensitivities. Feel into those vulnerabilities. Don't suppress them. Put a voice to them. Whether you're proud of it, whether you feel lame because of it, whether you like it, just voice them. Don't necessarily get too much in your head trying to edit. Come from this place and spit that fire. You spitting fire today. So with that being said, the moon in Aries, relative to the understanding of these authentic actions that you will be expressing through your word, is with this 11th house Aquarius signature going to align you around people who you're meant to be around. So be very mindful of people who invite you out, people who you connect with today. You want to examine how the core of who you truly are within, the authenticity that's not polished, that's not edited and filtered to be politically correct. This sitting in this feeling is going to help you understand, relative to your alignment with other people, why they belong in your life and vice versa. And this is, of course, going to apply this change of belief through the moon in Pisces so that you can explore more directly this understanding of originality and authenticity. You are unlocking an original truth, and it's going to influence, of course, who you continue to move forward with. Of course, this also references you being your own team. Whether even when you're alone, you still represent a team. All right, so that's really the first exciting part of this. The moon, of course, once again, on the South Node or North Node, and Chiron is activating this healing and destiny cycle. And then as it goes over Mars, it's going to help you understand immediate action to take. So this is going to rev up a lot of passion. But once again, given the sensitivity of these points, you will get triggered. And you want to really embrace these triggers. So don't feel yourself get triggered or put off and then suppress it. Vocalize it. Put it into art. Speak and communicate it. Gemini season is giving you the opportunity to put a voice into this, into words. Okay? Just pretend that my lips are not chapped. And yes, like I might feel a little bit vulnerable about how I forgot to put chapstick on. But see, I could just communicate it. And it doesn't make my lips any less ashy. But see, I feel a little bit better now that I've spoken about it. And hopefully, I don't really give a fuck. So yeah, that being said, see how just speaking about it and putting it into words just gives it that much more oomph. You know what I mean? It's out in the air, all right, and not bubbling up, because Aries is just such a reactive fire sign. Fire signs are so reactive. It's the nature of fire. Don't take personal people who are triggered and lash out. There are insecurities within themselves they're not at peace with, and so it will project outward. Not all facets of this process are meant to be eloquent and look the most beautiful. So that's why you want to take advantage of any insecurities, any vulnerabilities, any facets within you that need to be expressed, so that this raw understanding can be filtered through the truth of how and what you're expressing. The sextile to Jupiter to Venus is, of course, going to translate putting into words and polishing core emotions regarding how you feel about who you are. That will also come into greater clarity as well, as this Aquarius signature is completing the harvest of this change of perspective, this game changer. So a very beautiful thing about this period is your conviction of who you understand you are is getting ready to be made uncomfortably clear, certain uncomfortable and exciting truths about who you are, right? And the original truth of what you are being ready to be aligned and really explored and understood like never before. And this can confirm a lot of things that you've always believed, but maybe haven't really been in a position to see tangibly or put into words or make sense of until now. All right. This shift is what's going to prepare you for the new moon in Gemini, where we activate this new idea about ourselves. But, indirectly and or directly, you are being aligned with authentic individuals who help align more with this mode of expression and understanding more who you are and helping other people understand who they are through you being authentic to you, through you. Okay. Whew. Mercury is making its way out of Taurus, and this mastery of grounded information processing or mental acuity is going to take that height of this mastery of our sensing, and as it sextiles Neptune, enable your brain to catch up to speed to several of the synchronicities that you've been facilitating, but also allow your mind to connect with your imagination at a mastered level in a way that will now functionally be able to play with like it was an application, like your imagination was an application and your body is the hardware. So yeah, other than that, be mindful of the subconscious space between your mind and heart that in the shadow of can whisper or project negativity from yourself or others in an effort to once again challenge or frustrate your confidence in yourself. All right. When you stand in confidence and emit that light, shade could be thrown at you, almost as if an instinctual reaction to the light you emit, which may challenge, threaten, or dispel it. So you want to, the Aries teaches you to be the warrior. All my life, I had to fight. All right. Regardless of if a Gemini representative made that song, that's what Aries does every day. They fight. They're the warrior. And now this moon in Aries is unlocking your inner warrior so that you can speak words that you're willing to fight for, okay? That you will not take back and that really reflect who you are originally at the core. Do expect a bit of the unexpected, where with the nodes, you will be aligned in the right place at the right time. And a lot of these could happen before you're aware of why it was supposed to happen. So just kind of go with the flow, or just do what is authentic to you in order to really activate this. But yeah, that's really all I gotta say. This is gonna prepare for the balsamic phase when the moon goes into Taurus, and then we basically transcend the element of our word. Please remember, hurt people, but a lot of people are demon infested and they're cursed, like their spirits are cursed, whether due to overtime, whether due to being traumatized, abused. You don't know how many people have been abused in this lifetime and feel like they have to take their anger out on other people because now the world isn't fair to them, and all sorts of lame shit that people might have gone through. I'm just opening up the realization that there's so many ways and reasons why people will have shadows in their heart that hold space for demonic entities, cursed spirits, cursed energy. And that's really when I keep saying you get jumped psychically and you're getting psychically attacked, you're not a victim, you're a threat. And it's these people unconsciously, this is a collective unconscious influence. So it doesn't mean that someone has to be telepathically talking shit, although that can happen. It's more of a collective unconscious and your vibration picking up on opposing frequencies that the people who do this are hurt people. They're broken. They are broken inside. They've gone through whatever they've gone through. And I'm not saying this to give them sympathy, but it's important to understand psychologically where this comes from, There's so many people who have whatever reasons to blame the world and take their anger out on other people until they get humbled, you know, especially by your aura. But with that being said, don't let that pressure, right, only reinforce more of who you are. Don't let that pressure break you. When you understand that you're really just being projected towards because of the light you're emitting, then it will help you take it so much less personal. Like, I have Mars in Aries. For people with Aries or fire placements, fire immediately gets reactive because of the pride of fire. So if you do kind of get reactive, that's totally fine. Just catch yourself and let it go. Those of you without fire, you won't be as reactive. So just understand this is only happening because you're being treated as a threat. Like, and I don't mean like mentally, I mean like at an instinctual level. This is just a reaction. And when you understand the difference between beings being reactive versus anything personal happen, the moon in Aries will help you understand how most of it isn't personal, because negativity projected towards you isn't even really about you. And that's the beautiful thing about understanding who you are. When you're being thrown insults that don't even describe who you are, it just reflects what someone thinks you are from the outside looking in, and that's what's going to make them not even land. And that's where psychologically, if someone thinks they're, disrupting you, but they're not even talking to you, you don't want to feed that attention that you don't have to feed unless you're insecure about how other people think, versus taking your power back and, establishing the pecking order that they're the ones having to think about you. They're not even on your mind. All right. That being said, the moon that's sextiling Pluto in Aquarius is extending and opening the 60-degree angle since the conjunction in Aquarius. So it's establishing this awakening of supernatural energy in order to, at a supernatural level, understand who you are. And this is going to feel a little bit crazy because it's going to allow you, post Pisces of disillusionment, to accept things about yourself that may go beyond what has been traditionally established. For example, I can say confidently that just like my Gemini sun, Gemini moon, Gemini rising brothers and sisters, we're angels. Aquariuses are celestials. This is not physically based. Especially with my son, I'm a spirit angel. And a lot of people don't like to hear that because it goes against what is established and taught to them. Because once you speak outside of their frame of understanding, it frustrates them. They start to feel like, oh, blah, 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 blah. And that's just a sign of their idiocy, because they're unwilling to learn things outside their comfort zone. But don't let that necessarily stop you from speaking your truth. I know I have the spirit of a celestial being. Even I can have a human form, I can have human genetics and still be celestial of origin, whether you call it a star seed or not. And I'm not going to let acceptance from other people stop me from believing that or not. I have produced receipts. The difference between, and the reason why I'm using this as an example is what's been revealed to you, you have receipts for. You can go into a TED Talk and talk about it. Doesn't mean people will believe you, but now you have a burden of proof you can issue to people. Be like, hey, before you say this is true, you have to prove this. And boom, you already have receipts for it. So, I understand the math, and really pioneering this new understanding of yourself and how to put that into words. Don't feel like you have to have all the answers. Your life is, of course, a period of discovery. So take your time with it. And I really hope that you unlock core understanding of who you are and how to express that truthfully. You stay blessed as always.